The most dangerous person in your life right now is not someone you are afraid of. They are someone you feel comfortable around. They know your plans. They know your weaknesses. They know what you want. And they have learned very precisely how to stay close to you while those things quietly stop working out. You have felt it. A strange tiredness after certain conversations. A hesitation before sharing good news with a specific person. A pattern of your confidence slightly dropping every time they leave the room. You ignored it because they have never done anything obviously wrong. They smile, they show up, they say the right things at the right times. Niccolo Machiavelli identified this type of person 500 years ago. He called them the most destructive force in any powerful person's orbit. Not enemies, not strangers, allies with hidden agendas, friends who function as slow leaks in a boat you are trying to sail somewhere important. He also gave us a method to expose them. In this video, I am going to give you 3 diagnostic tests, behavioral, not emotional, that will force the truth out of any person in your inner circle within 48 hours. You will not need to confront them. You will not need to accuse them. You only need to watch what they do. Pay attention, because by the end of this, you will not be able to unsee what I am about to show you. First, we need to correct a dangerous misunderstanding most people carry about betrayal. People assume betrayal is dramatic, a sudden knife in the back, a loud moment of conflict, something obvious and undeniable. Real betrayal is not dramatic. It is architectural. A false friend does not attack your life. They subtly reshape it. They insert doubt into your confidence at the exact moment you need certainty. They express enthusiasm for your plans with just enough hesitation to plant an idea that you haven't thought it through. They are present when you are low and slightly less available when you are rising. This is not random. It is a pattern, and it operates beneath the threshold of what most people are trained to recognize. The reason you have not identified it yet is not because you are naive. It is because you are applying the wrong filter. You are asking, has this person done something bad to me? You should be asking, does this person's presence consistently make me smaller, slower, or more uncertain? Those are different questions, and only one of them tells you the truth. Machiavelli wrote in The Prince that a ruler's greatest vulnerability is not external attack. It is the counsel of those he trusts, because a man will more readily open his city gates to a friend than prepare defenses against one. The mechanism at work here is what behavioral psychologists now call the proximity trust loop. Proximity generates trust. Trust generates access. Access generates influence. And influence, in the hands of someone who does not want you to win, becomes the instrument of your stagnation. The false friend does not need to do anything dramatic. They simply need to maintain their position inside your trust radius, and from there, every small action compounds. A well-timed comment about a risk in your plan. A subtle comparison between your progress and someone else's. A pattern of being emotionally unavailable exactly when your momentum is highest. Over time, the effect is not one bruise. It is a slow, compounding drain on your energy, your self-belief, and your forward motion. The system runs automatically, and it runs without the false friend needing to be consciously malicious. Some of them are, but many are simply acting from their own fear. Fear of your growth, fear of being left behind, fear of losing the dynamic that makes them feel safe. Malicious or not, the effect on you is the same, which is why the solution is diagnostic, not emotional. Test 1, the good news test. Share a genuine piece of positive development with the person, something real, a new opportunity, a decision you have made, a goal you are moving toward. Keep it specific enough to be credible, then stop talking. Watch their first 3 responses. A loyal person's first response is always emotional before it is analytical. They react to your win before they process its details. There is a moment of genuine warmth before any question or commentary. A false friend's first response skips that beat. They go straight to questions that introduce doubt. Have you thought about the risk involved? What if it doesn't work out? I just want you to be careful. These are not the responses of someone invested in your success. These are the responses of someone managing their own discomfort at your progress. This test works because genuine enthusiasm cannot be perfectly faked on short notice. The false friend knows the correct words, but the sequence is wrong. They reach for caution before they reach for joy. Watch the sequence, not the words. Test 2, the Selective Absence test. Track the timing of their availability over 14 days. What they say about being available, when they actually appear and disappear. A false friend follows a predictable rhythm. High presence when you are struggling, low presence when you are building. This is not coincidence, it is the architecture of their role in your life. They are most valuable to themselves and most in control of the dynamic when you need them. When you don't need them, the power balance shifts and they quietly withdraw. You do not need to confront them about this, you only need to notice it. Write it down if necessary. Emotion obscures pattern, documentation reveals it. If someone is consistently less available the week you announce progress and consistently reappears the week after a setback, that is not scheduling, that is strategy. Test 3, the upgrade test. This is the most decisive test Machiavelli's framework implies, and it requires the most patience. Begin elevating yourself visibly in one domain, financially, socially, intellectually, professionally. Make the progress undeniable to anyone watching your life. Then observe one thing only. Does this person celebrate your elevation, or do they begin finding subtle problems with it? A loyal person's relationship with you strengthens when you rise. Their investment in you validates itself. A false friend's relationship with you becomes unstable when you rise because your dependence on them, the foundation of their access and influence, begins to erode. The response will rarely be direct hostility. It will be the introduction of new doubts, new comparisons, new framings of your success as luck, as temporary, as something that comes with hidden costs. This is the false friend's instinctive defense mechanism, and it is almost impossible for them to suppress it when it is genuinely triggered. Run this test over 30 days. The pattern will be unmistakable. Now, before you act on any of this, I need to give you a warning, because the way you apply this framework will determine whether it serves you or damages you. Clarity without composure becomes paranoia. If you run these tests with anxiety rather than detachment, you will start finding false friends everywhere, including in people who are simply imperfect but genuinely loyal. The goal of this framework is not to build a case against people. It is to make accurate assessments and act from those assessments calmly. You do not need to announce your conclusions. You do not need to confront anyone dramatically. What you need to do, when the tests confirm what you already suspected, is quietly, strategically, begin adjusting the information you share, the access you give, and the weight you place on their opinion. Reduction, not explosion. That is the Machiavellian move. A false friend who is cut off without warning becomes an active enemy. A false friend who is simply given less access and less information gradually loses relevance. The second outcome protects you. The first one creates unnecessary conflict. See clearly, respond strategically, reveal nothing. Here is what actually changes after this. You stop asking, is this person a good person, which is a question you cannot reliably answer. You start asking, does this person's presence serve the direction I am building toward? Which is a question behavior answers definitively if you are watching correctly. Most people spend years feeling vaguely drained, undermined, and confused, and attribute it to their own weakness or bad luck. They never consider that their inner circle has been architecturally misaligned with their growth. The person who runs these tests and reads the results accurately does not need to become suspicious or cold. They become selective. They become quiet about the right things with the right people. They stop performing openness as a social reflex and start deploying trust as a strategic decision. That shift from reflexive trust to deliberate access is not cynicism. It is maturity. It is the social intelligence that Machiavelli described as the difference between a ruler who survives and one who is consumed by those he trusted most. You are not meant to be a fortress. You are meant to be a gate with a lock. You decide who enters. You decide what they see, and you decide, based on what they do with that access, whether they stay. If this gave you a tool you did not have before, subscribe. This channel is built for people who want to understand power, protect their attention, and govern themselves before someone else does it for them. There is no motivation here, only method.